Republicans are already making a move on gutting Social Security. They've been in charge for roughly 13 minutes. Well, actually, that's not true. They already have control of the Senate. They already have control of the House. But President-elect Trump is not in there yet. But they're already starting to inch in the dead wrong direction. So this was proposed by Representative Sam Johnson, Republican of Texas. It's called the Social Security Reform Act. Now, again, what everybody needs to understand is the terminology that they use here. Every time they say, we need to reform Social Security, or we need to save Social Security, replace those words in your mind immediately with cut or privatize. Because that's what they really mean. We want to cut it, we want to cut it, we want to cut it. Or we want to privatize it, we want to privatize it, we want to privatize it. They'll never come out and say that because that's politically toxic. If they say that, they get owned and destroyed in the elections because nobody wants you to touch those programs. But whenever they say reform or save, it's a trick. They really mean cut or privatize. So, Talking Points memo breaks this down for us. They say, it would raise the retirement age and cut the program's cost of living adjustments so that they rise according to chained CPI, a far less generous metric than the current law's inflation index. Other cuts come in the forms of means testing requirements. Okay, so that's just, a litany of the worst ideas when it comes to Social Security. Right up front, let me just tell you, it doesn't need to be cut. That's a lie. As of right now, it has a surplus, and it pays out 100% of its benefits until the year 2037. And then after that, it still pays out 87% of its benefits. So minor tweaks fixes the program, and the minor tweaks you need to do that would fix it as far as the eye can see is to just raise the cap on the Social Security tax. So as of right now, I believe the line is at about $116,000 a year. So if you are a dentist, let's say, and you make $116,000 a year, you pay the exact same amount of money in taxes for Social Security as Mitt Romney does, and Mitt Romney made $14 million a few years ago. So $116,000 versus $14 million a year, and they pay the exact same amount in Social Security tax. Why? Because there's a cap on the amount of money that's taxable for Social Security at $116,000. So if you just made it so that instead of paying the same amount of money, they paid the same rate, so you get rid of that cap, well then it's solvent as far as the eye can see. So that's all you have to do. A tiny little fucking increase in taxes on the rich would totally fix the program, but they don't want to do that because they're Republicans. So what do they want to do? You just heard. They want to raise the retirement age. By the way, strike one, you're out. There's no strike two, there's no strike three. This is one of those instances. Strike one, you're out. No, you're not raising the retirement age. Working people are already struggling to make ends meet. There are already people who are too old that should be able to enjoy retirement right now who are in the workforce. They want to make that worse. Raise the retirement age. How about no? What happened? I thought you guys were saying you care about the average Joe. That's why Trump won the election. I care about the factory worker. He was a populist, right? Well, now you're saying populism. Fuck that. We're elitists. This is the most elitist move imaginable. Raise your retirement age. That's what we're going to do. And they want to cut the program's cost of living increases. So what that means is right now it goes up with inflation. So you get more money per year for Social Security. They want to lower the amount of increase. So that's what they call it the chain CPI. So that's in a very tricky way and sleazy way of cutting your benefits while they don't tell you they're going to cut your benefits. They say, no, we're just changing the cost of living increases. We're making it the chain CPI. So they frame it like, no, it's just a normal tweak. That's all we're doing. No. What you're doing is very clearly cutting benefits. All right. And then when they say means testing, what they mean by that is, well, if you're rich, we're not going to give you, you're not going to get money from Social Security. Now, at face value, people might go, well, that seems like a good idea. No, here's why that's a problem. You're changing Social Security from an earned benefit program into a welfare program. And then when it's a welfare program, it's easier for the Republicans to attack it and then gut it even more down the road because nobody likes to hear that word welfare. But as of right now, it's not a welfare program. It's an earned benefit program. People pay in and then they get out. So everybody pays in and they get out. So in other words, You earned it. That's why it's called an earned benefit program. So the idea that it's like, oh, moochers taking from Social Security. No, wrong to steal from Trump. That's wrong because you paid into it. You're just getting back what you're owed. So, but they want to make it a welfare program so they can come back later and gut it. That's what's going on here. And then there's an even worse Trojan horse in this bill. Why? Let me explain it to you. They say, according to estimations from the Social Security Administration's chief actuary, about half of Americans would see a rise in the benefits they receive initially, known as the primary insurance amount, or PIA, while the other halves would fall under Johnson's plan, but almost everybody would see cuts eventually due to the reduced cost of living adjustments. So do you understand that? What they're doing is they're telling you up front, cutting benefits. No, we're not cutting benefits. For the people that need it the most, we're increasing benefits. Uh-oh. This is how you get shitty things through, is you put a little bit of sweetness with the overwhelming majority of rotten garbage in there. So what they're doing is, it's not, hey, we didn't say it. It's the estimations from the Social Security Administration's chief actuary. They're saying that initially your benefits go up if you're middle class or if you're poor. So maybe you should be in favor of this. Fast forward 5 years, fast forward 10 years. Everybody's benefits get cut, and they get cut massively. And like I just described to you, retirement age goes up. They move to the chain CPI. So this is a Trojan horse bill, man. And what I'm scared of about this is exactly that provision, the Trojan horse provision. Because that gives Trump, if he were to choose, he would come out there and he would argue totally misleadingly, and it would be a lie. But he would go out there and argue, we're increasing Social Security. We're expanding it. That's what we're doing. And under the guise of expanding it, they would be cutting it. Oh, buckle up. This could be really, really, really bad.